We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from the Zia Chile traders, it is Llorona hot sauce. And okay, so I wrote about this somewhat at length in the blog, and a lot of stuff going on with this sauce. So this being the first of Zia that I've done on the blog or the channel, it is the return of the legend, John Hard. And of course, you're probably familiar with him with Kajans, or Kajans, however you care to pronounce it. This also is a sauce that, to me, you can see it's got that sort of yellowish hue to it, yellow-orange maybe, or maybe yellow trending towards orange a little bit, that this one is sort of blurring the lines a bit between what's a hot sauce and what's a mustard. For me, I would say it's more of a mustard. And last but not least, we have the name. We'll get into the ingredients in just a second. La Llorona is there's a lot of origins actually for this. I was familiar with it from Batwoman, but La Llorona is a sort of vengeful spirit. I think that her story was meant to be tragic, but there's a lot of vengeful, jealous rage. The idea being that her paramour, her partner, I've heard it said that in some places it was a lover, in some places it was a husband. Anyway, this person she had a couple kids with this person, and he apparently cheated on her, so she drowned her children, basically, and then I believe herself. I don't know if she went after the cheater or not. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And since then, she haunts basically bodies of water in order to drown other children because she is tied. She's tethered to the planet because of the deed of drowning her own children. And I guess she's looking for her children in other children and trying to drown them and join with their spirits or something. I don't know. This is sort of a boogeyman with bodies of water, I guess, in a lot of ways. But her story struck me as something I think it was meant to be tragic, but it is definitely more in line with a vengeful spirit. What does that have to do with hot sauce or spicy mustard or anything like that? I have no idea, because she is a ghost. So let's see if there's a tie-in in the ingredients, maybe. We have vinegar, we have chiles, and that is yellow moringa scorpion and hatch. We have yellow mustard. Let's see, where's the end of that? We have, tropical fruit salad, pineapple, guava, looks like red peppers, yellow peppers, water, sugar, passion fruit, and citric acid and tomato paste. So this doesn't even use ghost chilies. She's a ghost, but we're using scorpions. So I don't understand a lot of what's going on in the sauce. I'm a little baffled by it, to be honest. But, and there's, like, it is, I will just say this is actually, to me, kind of a strange sauce. Because, well, here, let me just show you. It is extremely, like, look at this. Look at how thick this is. It pours after a fashion, right? It kind of comes in clumps. And look, it's not leveling off. This is very, very thick sauce. I'm presuming because of the tropical salad. So the story kind of goes that I think John Hard might have moved from Ohio to New Mexico after United Sauces or Hot Shots Distributing acquired the Cajon's name, and had some new chilies to play with and got bored, and this is his comeback, just at this point a much smaller scale company. But I'm just a little bit confused by what this sauce is meant to do. To me, I think it is more of a mustard than a hot sauce. Certainly you've got the peppers and you've got the mustard as two of the fairly upfront ingredients, and to me it's more of just a fairly hot, sweet hot mustard. But all right, let's get into it and see how it is. It's a bit gritty. Bit grainy from, clearly there's some pepper grit in this. Decent punch from the scorpions, I would say. Very mustardy. There is a tropical bit of fruit nature to it. The tomato paste is interesting because it comes in kind of on the backside to add a bit more depth to it, which tomato paste moves it away from being a mustard to me. So I think this actually, in a lot of ways, kind of bridges the gap between a hot sauce and a mustard. I think this is actually maybe just right in the middle somewhere. Certainly it's got characteristics of a mustard. Certainly you can make the claim it's got characteristics of a hot sauce as well. I don't know I don't understand. Certainly La Llorona is legendary in the Southwest region and into Mexico, all the way down into Central America, I think, really. And there's some Aztec references there as well. A lot of intimation is that the legend started when the Spanish came over from Europe, centuries ago. I don't actually. There might be some Mayan influences in there as well. I don't know. It just certainly this legend has changed over the years. I just don't understand what it has to do with this sauce, though. I really like if there were ghost peppers in here, right, you click right. This is a ghost, and you get it. It's like, okay, well, ghost and the ingredients, and then we have a vengeful spirit, which is basically a ghost. But yeah, I don't know. And I don't know how prominent mustard is really in Southwest cuisine. That's kind of another odd element to this. This is a distinctly pointed, very distinctly at a Southwest sort of vibe. So this is, probably recognize this. This is the Jersey Mike's. I wanted to have basically a hot ham and cheese because to me, this was speaking more as a mustard. When I was trying to decide what to pair this with for the video. So I got their super, and then I basically had to heat it up myself. If Firehouse was closer, I probably would have went there, saved myself the trouble. But, so this is, the reason I went with this is because this is every single one of their hams. So every single one of their hams. I did opt for the mayo, the lettuce, the tomato, and banana peppers as well, so that is also on here. So, and then I just heated all this up myself. So we're gonna see how this functions more in the role of a. One of the things about this sauce is, it is as huge of a name as John Hart is in this hot sauce sphere that we all know and love. He's certainly not infallible. This sauce is too thick. I'll just say it. It actually is to the point where it's a bit difficult to use. It does have a nice flavor to it, though. I do enjoy that quite a bit. I'm not so much a fan of scorpions, but I think this works well here. I'm getting, interestingly enough, I'm getting some of the notes of the tomato paste showing up here. I'm not 100% sure how well this actually works on the sandwich. There is a story here about the sauce. I probably should have read it on camera, but you can check out the written review. Link to that's available in the description below if you're interested in his take on that. This wasn't. The tropical salad also doesn't strike me as particularly Southwest in terms of tone. I guess fittingly enough, it's a bit confusing on this sandwich. So that was trying it on the ham side. I'm going to try it here on the vegetable side. See if it'll interact a little bit better with the mayo. You have to be a little bit careful though, because this will have some bitter notes from the scorpions. And to an extent, I guess, probably the mustard as well. And they're not always super pleasant when you run across them. This is so thick. I mean, you know, if you're going to do a sauce that's thick, whatever, you know, it's your sauce. But for me, I would say, if you're going to do that, put it in a squeeze bottle. You know, take some pity on us. Have some mercy on us poor mortals here. You can see so the neck has stayed like this. You can get sauce and get through it right now, but this won't drift down. The sauce is going to stay in the neck where it is. It is not going to fall down. So there will be a lot of sauce left in the bottle by the time I get to the end of this. Interesting artwork, though. I do like the artwork. And I mean, it's kicking us off for October 2023, where certainly I think it fits in well with the Halloween theme. That's a little bit better there. It's really fascinating. Different areas of the sandwich, and I'm getting a completely different experience. A much better one, to be certain. It's not quite. It's not quite sweet enough to be a sweet mustard, either. I mean, it's good on chicken. I like it there. I am going to try it on burgers at some point as well. There's the heat is overall pretty moderate. I could give it a 2. That's about where it falls. Now maybe this is just a... I have some of his other sauces on deck, so I'll find out the answer to this question, but maybe this phase now is just him kind of doing boutique sauces. You can make a pretty strong case this would fit into that. We'll see about the other ones though. Certainly John Hart has been by far the most represented sauce maker on the blog. Probably in the videos as well. I know Angry Goat, there's quite a lot of those. But once I finish the archive project, I'm sure that if it isn't already, John Hart will be the most represented in the videos. Certainly on the blog he is by quite a bit. Especially when you count all the vanity sauces, the Alice Coopers, the Bumblefoot, all that stuff. Unquestionably a very talented sauce maker. I don't know that I would say, saying that somebody's the best is at it, I think is a question of personal taste. For me, I don't even know who I'd pick. Just being straight honest, I don't know who it would be. There's a lot of them. I will say that I 100% absolutely that John would be in that discussion though. No question about that. Definitely an absolute legend in the industry. Total legend. Okay, so this sauce, I'll get one. It smells like Super Hots. So maybe, here's the theory, right? Maybe there's a lot of mystery behind La Llorona. As much mystery as this sauce presents, maybe that's why he chose that name. I don't know. But maybe that's it, because it definitely has tones of mustard, but is not quite a mustard. Certainly not a sweet hot mustard. We've got Super Hots in there. We've got hatch chilies. We've got some tomato paste. We have a number of things that really pointed at a hot sauce as well, as equally as a mustard. And yet we also have papaya, a tropical salad with papaya, passion fruit, pineapple, and stuff like that. Which really kind of makes the whole thing a little bit topsy-turvy, because those are ingredients you wouldn't normally see in a mustard, but you could see as sweetening agents if you're trying to do a sweet mustard. So there's a lot going on in this sauce. I think it's a very, very interesting one. The final result, I think, I'm going to say, is probably, for me, a bit more interesting than it is good. I don't see where I would buy this again. It is a lot of fun to experiment with, though. If you like to have a sauce where part of the joy is trying to figure out which niche it's going to fit in, this is definitely a good sauce to get, because it does play interestingly with a lot of different foods. And you can have I like doing that. For me, that's a lot of fun. And if you're like me, you can have a lot of fun trying to say, where does this fit? Because it doesn't, it's good enough that you want to eat it, but it also, the flavor doesn't have a natural inclination to point you at any one type of food. This could as easily work on fish and seafood. It's something like I don't know that I would do it on the sub again, but I think it'd actually be probably pretty interesting on a burger. And I haven't tried it as of this filming, but that will be something I'm going to be doing. I've got about, I've not quite used half of this, just playing around with it. So I've got a ways to go on this. But definitely it'll probably show up on one of the wing things, either Q3 2023 or possibly Q4 2023. Keep a lookout for both of those if you want to see my thoughts on what it does with wings. But yeah, it's just I like sauces like this because the flavor is compelling enough that I want to try to find where it goes, but it doesn't strike me, I guess, as my natural, my favorite pick for a lot of stuff either. So it's kind of in that interesting, I guess, kind of middle ground, the mystery land. The international sauce of mystery, so to speak. But a lot of fun. Definitely, it's good to see the man back in the kitchen and coming up with concoctions, even if they're not necessarily anchors I can latch onto right away. Still a lot of fun, and it's always good to see him. So we'll leave it there. Definitely, this is worth a go, though. Look around for it. I don't think it's anywhere near as big and as ubiquitous as Cajon's was, so you might have to look around for it a little bit. You can find it certainly at my favorite hot sauce shop that's now online. So that is one area, and you could read the description for that, which links to it, or you can go to my blog, which also links to it. And we'll just leave it there. So there it is, the La Llorona hot sauce from Zia Chile Traders.
Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.